Everything's ready. Flag's here. Hair's blonde. Oliveira dubs. Charles kills him. Charles kills him. That's all I want to hear. Charles smokes him. Charles kills him. Round one. Charles attempted the takedown. He gets Oliveira Topuria down, but now Topuria's in dominant position. Oliveira's already bleeding? How's Oliveira already bleeding that bad? How's Oliveira already bleeding that bad? Pretty much. Crucifix. Topuria and crucifix. Topuria not wanting to engage with it. He doesn't want none of it. Good jabs for Topuria.
Busted up. Oh!
No! 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 All right. I know. I was wrong again. I'm 0-3 on main card picks now. This one hit a little bit different, though. I was a little bit more enthusiastic about this one, and I was wrong, you know? It's the way she goes sometimes. Charles Oliveira got knocked the out, you know? But today is Monday. I moped for a whole Sunday, so now I think we're ready to get into my reaction and breakdown and picks results from UFC 317, which took place on Saturday. So let's get right into the first fight. Oh, it hurts. All right, so the first fight on the main card we're going to be talking about is Peyton Talbot versus Felipe Lima. I had Felipe Lima by submission in round 2 potentially, and Peyton Talbot actually won by decision. Now, this one I'm not so upset about my pick being wrong because who would have expected that Peyton Talbot had improved this much since his last fight, which was just earlier this year. Wow, amazing performance from Peyton Talbot. I think Felipe Lima even underestimated him a little bit because on the feet. Round 1, on the feet, he was having Felipe Lima was having some success. He was having some success on the feet, and Talbot was as well. It was a little bit back and forth, but Felipe was getting the better of it until Felipe started to try to get these takedowns, and he just could not get them. And as soon as he could get Peyton Talbot down, Talbot could scramble and get back up. Even if he got back down on the ground, he was popping right back up immediately. I mean, just really impressive performance from Peyton Talbot. And Felipe Lima is, I don't think there's anything bad about this performance either. I mean, both of these guys are clearly the future of bantamweight. They're very good. Both of them are very good prospects. And wow, Peyton Talbot really improved. I mean, Felipe Lima even almost had Peyton Talbot's back a couple of times. I think in the second round, he had his back for a second, and Talbot was still able to get out of it. And then towards the end in the third round, Peyton Talbot was ending up in dominant grappling positions, and again, Lima was getting really desperate to take this down when he was having moderate success on the feet. It wasn't as big of a skill gap on the feet as I thought, and also not on the ground. It was a lot more even on the ground, and then it looked like Lima even had like a slight advantage on the feet. But Lima explained this in round 2 in the corner. They were asking him why he was so desperate to get on the ground or something about why he won't keep it standing. And Felipe said something about his power, man. So I guess that Peyton Talbot power is real because he didn't really even land anything super clean on Lima that was noticeable before that. But apparently those shots at the guard and stuff, Lima could feel the power and really recognize it through that fight. So yeah, wow, good, really impressive performance from Peyton Talbot. He got the decision. I think big things are in the future for Talbot because man, that you usually don't see fighters improve this much in between fights, especially ones that are within the same year. And honestly, Felipe Lima is no step down in competition from Barcelos. He's actually equivalent or better than Barcelos, so it's just really shows Peyton Talbot's improvement, and he doesn't have that hole in his grappling anymore. He had really good takedown defense, and he had really good scrambles. Even had some moments where he was having success on the ground, and then he outstruck him on the feet for the most part. So really good performance from Peyton Talbot. I mean, he deserved the decision win, and that left me 0-1 on main card picks. And let's get into the next fight. God damn it. All right, so the next fight, we're going to talk about the next fight on the main card was Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. I had Beneil Dariush by decision, and Beneil Dariush won this fight by decision. Moicano has had a little bit of a decent first round, but Beneil was just better than Moicano. I mean, yeah, he couldn't get a single takedown. He wasn't able to take him down, like I said. Dariush was actually taking Moicano down, as you can see here, 5 of 5 on takedowns for Moicano, or for Dariush, and 0 of 3 for Moicano. Significant strikes, big difference there. Total strikes, big difference there. So in the first round, Beneil Dariush was very much winning that first round, and it was what you think. Moicano couldn't get him down. Dariush was having success on the feet, and then out of nowhere at the very end of the round, Moicano knocks Dariush down. And I thought, wow, okay, I was totally wrong. Moicano has the power to put Dariush down, apparently. But I don't know. That was just a really unexpected. That was his one really big moment of success in the fight. Other than that, he was like completely shut down. The next two rounds were just all Beneil Dariush. I mean, even the first round, Moicano wasn't having much success until that knockdown, and it just sort of seemed a little bit out of nowhere. So Dariush would have won a 30-27 minus that knockdown, but with a knockdown, he won 29-28, pretty clearly unanimous decision, and that's what I had picked. Dariush is just, it's a bad matchup for Moicano. Moicano's better. I think he's better at fighting strikers who are not as good, as well-rounded as Dariush. So I don't think Moicano's going to stick around because he can make money, and Moicano wants money and all that, and he cuts good promos, but he's not going to beat anybody else at the top of the division. He couldn't beat an Armin or a Charles even, or... Yeah, he couldn't really beat anybody at the top. Maybe Charles Oliveira is the next fight for him. I don't know. Maybe they do Oliveira Dariush too. But yeah, Beneil Dariush moves on. I don't really see much for Dariush up at the top. Maybe they could give him. He already beat Gamrot. I mean, Gaethje said he's not going to fight anybody. Paddy's faced off with Topuria, so they might be doing that next. But I'm thinking they either give somebody at the top. They give an Armin or a Paddy Dariush. So Armin already smoked him. So Dariush is just in a bad position. He got smoked by Oliveira, smoked by Armin, and then he already fought Gamrot and he beat him. So I don't know who you give Dariush. It's just kind of it's a meh position for both of them. If Moicano had won, then there's some fresh matches at the top for him. But since Dariush won, there's really no fresh matchups. And yeah, that's it for this one. Dariush ended up winning by decision. That's what I had. That left me 1-1 on picks. Moicano wants money, did not get it done. It's a really sad day for the Brazil. I had the Brazil flag up. It's over here. I had the Brazilian flag up, and Brazil took some L's today. Lima took an L. Oliveira took an L. All right, on to the next fight. Oh, no. Oh, so trash. All right, the next fight we're going to be talking about is Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van. I had Royval by decision. Joshua Van ended up winning this by decision in a fight of the year. This was the fight of the year, or it has to be an absolute contender for fight of the year. This was an amazing banger fight. Flyweight's the division right now. Flyweight is just the division right now. We have a ton of fun fighters, a ton of fun fights in flyweight. Joshua Van is just an absolute G. He's just an absolute entertaining fighter. I mean, there's no other way to put it. He's one of the most entertaining fighters out there right now. But yeah, round one, Royval was peppering him up with that jab. Had a ton of volume from Royval. I think if you were to look at the numbers for round one, he was winning that. But then every time Van landed, it was just, there were so many more consequences when Van landed. It's just like it actually hurt him, stumbled him maybe. The damage was visual on Royval's face. And then that was a close round until Van at the end just putting too much damage on him. So then you give that to Van. Round two, a lot closer of a round. Royval just keeping that volume up. It was a really good fight. As you can see here, look at this: 216 of 468 and 209 of 311, which really tells the story of the fight. It was an absolute banger fight, back and forth the whole fight. And as you can see, all of these were counted as significant strikes. Pretty much everything that landed was a significant strike. It was just an absolute banger fight. Honestly, this main card was really good. Of course, I didn't like the outcome in the main event, but I mean, it was a really good card. But yeah, round two was a lot closer. I gave Royval round two, and then round three, which was another really close round. Tons of action, tons of back and forth. Van's landing, Royval's landing. Royval's a little bit busted up, or a lot bit busted up. Van is a little bit busted up, and it was a very close round until the final 10 seconds. Joshua Van was actually able to drop Royval, and he continued. And also in the last minute of that round, he started picking up a leg stomp that kept dropping Royval as well. So they didn't count that one, but there's a true knockdown from Van in the final 10 seconds, ending with Royval on his back. So you have to give that round to Joshua Van, leaving it a 29-28 decision for Joshua Van. It was you know, with really close rounds in a high action fight like this, a lot of people see it either way. It's sort of get your bias, but I scored it 29-28 Joshua Van. I think I gave Royval the second, and the first was really close, but then you have to give that to Van based on damage. So absolute banger of a fight. Joshua Van ended up actually facing off with Pantoja next, because Dana White said in the press conference that the winner of this fight will fight for the title next, and it was Pantoja, but they'll fight for the title next. And yeah, just really impressive stuff from Joshua Van, and I think he'll probably lose to Pantoja, but I mean, this Joshua Van power seems kind of different. I mean, we've seen Royval in there with guys, and of course he's gotten dropped before and he's been hurt before, but just it was serious business from Joshua Van. Just majorly impressive performance. I mean, flyweight is just so entertaining right now. We have a ton of talent at flyweight. I mean, Royval's not like, he's not out for like, this isn't mean Royval's not any good. This was a banger fight, and Royval was putting it on Joshua Van in moments, but it just it's the power of Van that just ended up being the deciding factor in this fight. But yeah, Joshua Van onto the title next. So Pantoja versus Van, banger fight. I mean, just an absolute banger fight, and Pantoja's just climbing the GOAT list. And speaking of Pantoja, let's get on to Pantoja's fight in the co-main event. Oh jeez. All right, the co-main event, Alexandre Pantoja versus Kai Kara-France. I had Alexandre Pantoja by a decision, and he actually ended up winning by submission in the third round. Yeah, Kai Kara-France wasn't supposed to be in there. I mean, simple as that. He really just shouldn't have been in there with Pantoja. It was pretty obvious. I mean, round one, Pantoja got him down so easily, so early, and controlling the entirety of the first round. Easy money, Pantoja first round. Our only Brazilian dub on the main card, by the way. Literally the only one. So that was the only time I got to rip the flag, and it was a winner. But yeah, round two was a bit closer. Pantoja didn't get in as easy takedowns, but then he still ended up getting him down, controlling him, winning the second round, winning on the feet too. I mean, Kai Kara-France had his moments, but he wasn't supposed to be in there, like I said. Then round three, minute 55 in, as you can see, Pantoja gets the submission by rear naked choke after getting Kai Kara-France's back and choking him out. I really did think everyone was dumb for picking Kai Kara-France here. I don't even feel like he had a chance. Like I said in the fight, it didn't look like Kai was going to have a chance to win a decision here. I mean, he was losing. He lost the first two rounds. So I didn't really see him winning a decision here, and it was just you're betting on that, can he spark Pantoja? And with Pantoja's chin, are we really betting on someone to knock him out? He's got a ridiculous chin. I don't see it. Figgy's the only person that was able to drop him, and Figgy's the only person to drop Cheeto and other things, and that was up at bantamweight. So Figgy's just got ridiculous power. Kai Kara-France doesn't have, I don't think he has similar powers as Figgy, or it's like Figgy's got like weird power. Kai Kara-France throws bombs and they land and they knock people out. Figgy throws jabs and they drop people, and it's kind of strange. So yeah, Pantoja choked Kai Kara-France out. I was completely right about this. Besides Pantoja getting a finish, I thought it would be a decision here. But yeah, what a run Pantoja's on. And in his post-fight speech, he talks about how the pound for pound rankings are disrespecting him, because they absolutely are. I mean, he's behind Bilal. JDM just gets gets the belt, and he's ahead of Pantoja. Pantoja has 4 title defenses now. I mean, where's the respect for Pantoja here? He's on an absolute tear. He's gonna fight Joshua Van next. They actually faced off in the octagon right after his fight. There was a ton of respect between the both of them. Pantoja talks about, oh, he's only 23 years old, and there's a ton of respect for that. So it's nothing. There's gonna be no heat on the build up to this fight, but it's gonna be a banger. And I just think right now, I'm not sure anybody beats Pantoja. Pantoja just looks absolutely amazing in every one of his fights. His wrestling, or his aggressiveness, his pressure, his grappling is just way too much. The control he has on the ground is just way too much for anybody. I think it has to be somebody who can put up a fight like Urseg did, or like Moreno did when they fought for the belt. It's somebody who can scramble and be able to make it a back and forth fight. Someone's going to be winning a split decision over Pantoja. I don't think anyone's going to be able to knock him out. And I don't think it'll be a pure striker like Joshua Van. I don't think he's going to be able to actually get it done against Pantoja. I think it's going to be very close. So yeah, really nice, really positive things for the flyweight division. The Joshua Van versus Pantoja, an absolute banger to look out for next. And I was right about this one. I mean, I had him by decision, but he ended up winning by submission. Kai Kara-France just should not have been there. Kai Kara-France could fight Manel Kape still. I think they should still do that fight. I think that fight would still be a banger. And since we for sure know that Pantoja is fighting Joshua Van, then that leaves Kape available. And I don't know. He's been sitting out for quite a while, so maybe he wants to get to something that's a little bit sooner, because I mean, he'll have to wait a while for Kai. But I think they should do that fight. I think we're really missing out on that fight. There's actual heat between there. Kape does not like Kai Kara-France at all. He doesn't like all of City Kickboxing. So there's some heat there, and it'd be a banger fight. Put it on a pay-per-view, put it on a co-main of a fight night, make it the main event of a fight night, actually. And I think anyone would be happy. I mean, this would be a good one. And then Pantoja's, of course, fighting Joshua Van. Respect him on the pound-for-pound rankings. Okay, enough of this. Pantoja needs to be higher on the pound-for-pound rankings. So, yeah, that was the co-main event, and on to the main event. All right, the main event. Last video was titled Charles Oliveira is going to destroy Ilia Topuria. Thumbnail had me and Charles there saying we are going to destroy Ilia Topuria. And actually, we got knocked the out. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way immediately. I was wrong as hell. Charles got slept bad, out cold horribly. He's never went out cold like that. Just like Max, just like Volkanovski. Oliveira is now a victim of Ilia Topuria, and he went out cold just like Volkanovski did. Max was a TKO. Volk and Charles were out cold, out bad. Few things. So in the beginning of the fight, Oliveira did look a little, well, not a little bit. He looked quite a bit bigger than Topuria. And in moments in the clinch and he was going for grappling, there were a few grappling exchanges when he was going for it. He looked like he was able to control Topuria. Like the strength and the size advantage were a bit there for Oliveira, especially in the clinch there. So I was having hope, but then Oliveira goes for, I believe, a takedown, ends up on a leg of Topuria, and then Topuria disengages after getting in his guard for a second. He actually had a crucifix on Charles at some point, so his grappling's legit. Topuria's grappling's legit. I mean, Oliveira was like somewhat close to a leg lock and somewhat's kind of liberal with the somewhat. He was going for a leg lock. Topuria didn't look like he stressed too much. He defended really well. He was able to get up, and then there was a point where Charles was on his back with his face all bloodied up already. I didn't even know how that happened. It was probably all the jabs he was landing because Topuria was landing an insane amount of jabs. Oliveira was really trying to establish that leg kick, and Topuria just kept shutting him down with the jab. And then they get up. Then they flash for an exchange, and Topuria lands that right hand and then a left hand. The right hand put Oliveira out cold. The left hand was just a cruel follow-up as he was going down. And Oliveira ends up flat on his back. Shut the f*** up, alarm. Yeah, he ended up out cold on his back. I may or may not have crashed out a little bit. You don't f***ing understand! Just a little bit. I can't breathe. Not too much. But yeah, when you care so much about this sport and you get your fan favorites and you get all excited to watch, it's so much different when your guy loses than any other sport, than football or basketball. It's a lot different. In basketball or football, if your guy loses, if your team loses, they don't go out cold on the canvas, bloodied up and actually unconscious. They just don't win, and it's sad. I watched one of my favorite fighters get flatlined out cold, blood on his face, wheezing, bad. At least he didn't seize up like Bryce Mitchell, so I mean, there was that positive. But yeah, you know, when you get so happy about a sport and you get so excited, I try to make this fun. I try to really root for my guy. I mean, I fucking dyed my hair blonde for this. I got the Brazilian flag. I got all happy about it, and he went out cold. I mean, yeah. Oliveira's 35. He's not going to get a title shot anymore. That was the end of his title shot run. I'm thinking we got like 1 or 2 more fights for Oliveira. I don't even think he sticks around much longer after this. He just got knocked. He got flatlined. And how good is Ilia Topuria? You gotta say it. How good is Ilia Topuria? It's one of the best 3-fight runs we've ever seen in the sport, ever. KOing Volkanovski for the belt, KOing Max Holloway as a defense, relinquishing the title, going up to lightweight, and KOing Charles Oliveira for the lightweight strap. The run doesn't get much better than that. And controversial take, not even a controversial take, he's higher on the GOAT list than Khabib already. Just the strength of resume, what he's doing. He already has 2 belts. Khabib had 3 title defenses. Ilya had 1 and featherweight, and then moves up and gets another belt. And he's gonna, if he fights Paddy Pimblett, he'll have another easy title defense. If he fights Gaethje, he'll win. Arman's his biggest test, but the UFC seems very adamant to not give Arman his title shot. So Ilya may be able to get 1 or 2 fights in before he has to fight Arman. So actually, Dana White, they faced off. Him and Paddy Pimblett faced off in the cage after the fight. Dana White in the post-fight press conference said that that was actually a mistake and that shouldn't have happened, which is strange. So it seems like they must already have a path that they're looking for, that they're looking to play out with Ilia Topuria. So I imagine it's probably Gaethje, if I had to guess, if that's what their plan is, because Gaethje said he's going to retire if he doesn't get to fight for the belt next. So I'm imagining Topuria will end up fighting Gaethje. And then after that, he'd get Patty or vice versa, either one or the other. But yeah, we're looking at a potential GOAT. This is how you start it off. I mean, he could end up losing the belt and then going on a 7-fight losing streak, Tony Ferguson style. But this is really, if we're going to see a potential GOAT of the sport, this is what they do. At 27 years old, already knocked out 3 legends of the UFC, knocked them out cold. This is what you do. This is what you do. So, I mean, it's Topuria season. I mean, this is the thing. I'd be such a big fan of Topuria if he just wasn't knocking out my favorite fighters, you know, knocking out fighters that we all love. Why didn't he fight Movsar Evloev? Why couldn't he knocked him out cold? Why can't he fight Arman at lightweight? I don't care if Arman gets slept out cold, but it had to be all the GOATs. And I've already seen this debate or this take online. It's like, oh, it's all old guys he's fighting. Holloway's not old. Holloway's 32. Oliveira's 35, so he's not, you know, old. I don't know. I hate this. You can't downplay the success he's having by saying that they're old. This is just, it's an insane run with the most insane run we've ever seen. And yeah, good for Topuria. I mean, not good for me. I had a tough Saturday. Well, I mean, check out the live streams, man. I give some good reactions. And yeah. So I picked Charles Oliveira to win by finish round 1. Topuria got the win by finish round 1. Brutal KO. So I was wrong there. That left me, I believe, 2-3 on main card picks, which is pretty terrible. Yeah, pretty bad on main card picks. But, you know, that's the way she goes. I'm not going to bet with my heart anymore. That's just kind of been the thing. Be betting with my heart. Got to bet on decision. I mean, the other, I can say with Rayval and Lima, those picks were I was really breaking it down and thought that they could get win, watching previous fights, thinking about how they fight and whatnot. Rayval did what I thought he would do, but he just wasn't able to stay safe enough, and he didn't mix up his grappling at all. He kept it on the feet, which is good for the fans and whatnot. And then I just didn't expect Peyton Talbot to be as good as he was, or to improve as much as he did. So, you know, it's the main event picks where I'm picking with my heart, and I got to stop doing that. So we're going on an undefeated run on picks. The next videos, Talshin Teixeira versus Derek Lewis. We're gonna be working hard. We're not betting with our hearts. I'm gonna be making the absolute most pristine picks for the rest of my videos. So yeah. But that was that. I had a tough Saturday. I mean, check out the Twitch, check out the YouTube. I was live on both last Saturday, and check out the Twitch, my Twitter as well. I have it all linked in the description. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. And I'll be here on Thursday, either Thursday or Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, I'll have the prediction video out. It'll probably be Thursday, and if not Thursday, it'll be Friday. So be on the lookout for that, and I will see everybody in the next video. Rest in peace, Charles Oliveira. He got smoked, and I'm sad. Goodbye. This wasn't supposed to happen. It was supposed to be beautiful. It was supposed to be 2 times champ. It was supposed to be humbling this little midget. It was supposed to be gorgeous, and it's over. It's never been more over.